Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Bog Walk Gorge in St. Catherine remains closed. St. Elizabeth residents living in fear after main road collapsed. And later in sports, quarter-round action in Issa Manning and the Costa Cup competition begins this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamila Pullen. Here are the details. Members of the Jamaica Civil Service Association are restive this afternoon. President of the association, Tesha Clark-Griffiths, says even though outstanding matters under the Public Sector Compensation Review were settled, they are yet to take effect. The exercise was concluded in September prior to the departure of former Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark.
Last week indicating our restiveness, and that is the members of the Jamaica Civil Service Association and the wider public service. We're expecting those circulars to come out before the end of November so that payments can be made. We did indicate that we're not willing to wait until December to get those payments, and so we're expecting the financial secretary and also the new minister to send out those circulars so that public servants can be paid for those items that we have negotiated under our previous agreement.
The funds to facilitate payments were included in the first supplementary estimates approved in Parliament on October 15. The outstanding matters include passenger mileage and overtime retroactive to...
And so we don't want to delay any further, given the fact that we would have signed that agreement from September 19. So we're anticipating that the Ministry of Finance in this coming week will release those circulars so that we can go ahead and make those payments, because the estimate of expenditure would have been tabled on October 15th of this month. And so the ministry departments or the agencies are well ahead of the game in calculating those payments and are awaiting the release of the circulars from the finance ministry. So I'm hoping that we don't have to take drastic actions.
The association is awaiting a meeting with Finance Minister Favour Williams to discuss the 2025-2027 wage claim. Residents in Siloah and surrounding communities in St. Elizabeth are now living in fear after their main road is now blocked. The residents are urgently calling on the authorities to address the problem. Karen Simpson reports.
This is a section of the main road between Siloah and Balaclava, which collapsed Thursday afternoon due to recent heavy rains. Commuters are now forced to use alternative routes like the Cane Peace Road.
People right now want to come on top. Tap it up over so people can cross. It's not just in a hole.
However, concerns now about a narrow bridge along this route which cannot accommodate large vehicles.
Currently, the water is at roughly 6 inches beneath the surface of the bridge that will have to travel on. So if there's a heavy shower of rain later tonight, it is highly possible that that road or track will be impassable come tomorrow.
I drove around there a while ago and it's very bad. And the water is right on top of the bridge. And if we get overnight rain, I expect we can't use it tomorrow. We don't know what we're gonna do.
The disruption affects several schools in the parish.
We have students preparing for CXC examination. They are currently working on their SBAs now. We have several high school students that will be affected. To name a few, we have Roger Clark High School that I work. We have the Aberdeen High School. We have Sydney Pagan STEM Academy, Magati High School. We have students that travel from this side to St. Elizabeth Technical High School. We have the Balaclava Primary School.
The people say it's a long-standing issue that needs to be fixed.
I'm so disappointed. You know, after 2 years we have been appealing. When the road was like, when the first road was like this, nothing happened, and see every bus in two today. Now thousands of commuters are being affected as we speak. If you notice, all the traffic are going through the Cane Peace night now tonight. And I'm really concerned because in the night, anything can happen.
Meanwhile, TVJ News observed a team from the National Works Agency at the location yesterday. It is still, however, unclear when work will begin to repair the road. Carrie Simpson, TVJ News.
The Bog Walk Gorge remains closed this afternoon. Motorists are being advised to use alternative routes where possible. Boulders, fallen trees and other debris scattered in the vicinity of the Bog Walk Gorge in St. Catherine.
Showing you just the magnitude of what is going on here. This is a smaller boulder. Well, this is the smallest. That's a smaller boulder, right? And the bigger one is to the back. But I want to show what is happening, where it came from and what still exists. All of these trees are sitting on nothing.
The situation is becoming a nightmare for residents who live in the area.
Everyone say we have another big boulder, but it's never this big. Yeah, you have to take down the water hillside there. This is a massive undertaking, Chief. Gorge now open for now, we can say that. Right?
But the National Works Agency, NWA, says it is working to clear the blocked roadways. However, there is significant cleaning and assessments which must be done. According to Communication Manager Stephen Shaw, the agency faces numerous obstacles, including a massive boulder block in the Bog Walk Gorge requiring breaking and removal. He further explains that the terrain from where the boulders were dislodged remain unstable. In light of these factors, a timeline for reopening was not given. Motorists are being advised to use alternative routes where possible, avoid affected areas until further notice, and exercise caution and patience during this time. Over in Manchester, a resident of Blake's Pen is now counting his losses after his yard was flooded on Thursday following heavy rains. He shared that most of the water came from the main road close to where the family resides.
They came and fixed it, the road, in September here, right? So nice and everything. And see what happened again? See what happened again? So the whole gully coast here are gonna have to clean out. The road was so nice, everything was okay. And this is what happened again. So I don't know what is the situation. The whole entire thing have to structure over. Okay. So it's like all these spending of money that doing things, look at even that everything just gone to waste.
There are concerns about blocked drains in the area that need to be cleaned. Meanwhile, Councillor for the Alligator Pond Division, Omar Robinson, says damage assessments will be done. However, he was quick to point out that the road was being repaired prior to the incident.
It was over 2 weeks ago. We did some remedial work on it after heavy rainfall in September. That was 25th of September. We responded quickly, did some remedial work, but we held off the surfacing of it, that's the asphalting, because there are some engineering work that needs to be done with the gully, with the drain. We started some work there, but there's much more to be done to clear that area so that when we have perennial rainfall like this one is kind of different.
A retaining wall under construction along a section of the Roselle main road in St. Thomas has been destroyed in recent heavy rains. The wall was being restored after it collapsed during the passage of Hurricane Beryl in July. Councillor for the White Horses Division, Hubert Williams, has described as poor the quality of work that was done in the first place.
Originally, there were no foundations set for that wall. So the wall was on the surface of the land. So as soon as we start to get storm surge, the surge of the storm just take of the sea rather, just take the wall away. So I'm just saying, in the future, we should supposed to try to do quality work with government funds. And if quality work was done, we would have that situation today, because that wall now, the state that it's in, it's endangering life. And it's something that we have to fix quickly.
Mr. Williams says this is a common problem for the entire road network.
If you look right across the length and breadth of the highway, we start to have damaged spot, bad spot, sunken spots. And it's because the subsurface wasn't right. Inferior material. I am saying it's the worst infrastructure program in the history of Jamaica. It is very sad what St. Thomas people receive after waiting decades for a highway.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Opposition spokesman on Transport and Works, Michael Phillips, is calling on the Prime Minister to make good on his promise to address the issues affecting the country's road network.
All parts of Jamaica is suffering from bad roads. And, yesterday we saw where the road between Siloah and Balaclava has now been cut off. This is a road that former Minister Warmington and other officials from the National Works Agency went to go and visit because of the condition of the road, seeing that, once we got some bad weather or conditions, that road was in danger of being cut off. And now it has been without any action from the administration.
Mr. Phillips says despite work being done on some roads, it is still not enough.
It has been made worse after the passage of the hurricane and the rains that we saw earlier this week. We have not heard any concrete plan by the government in how we're going to deal with this situation. Spark is not the answer of the conditions of the road as they currently are now. It is a start, but we want to hear what is long-term plan that the administration has.
Mayor of Port Maria, Fitzroy Wilson, says the St. Mary Municipal Corporation will be more involved with housing developments. It comes after residents complain about poor roads in various housing schemes across the parish. Speaking at the recent Municipal Corporation meeting, Mr. Wilson assured residents that change is coming.
We are going to find a way to deal with these issues. As a matter of fact, I've spoken with a member of parliament in recent times, and just yesterday we had the NHT that is doing some developments for some houses. They came and they made some assessment of those houses that was built by the government, and we have placed on the table for them to do a renovation of that road from the entrance all the way the main road up, and all those, I think, 5 roads that leads off into the government schemes.
Which is why a team from the corporation will look to see how they can legally address developers in carrying out their duties.
Gone are the days in St. Mary when developers are going to come here, sell, and move away and leave the municipal corporation in problem, leave the residents in dire situation where we are not authorized to fix these roads because they are categorized as private roads. But I'm not going to come to you this evening and tell you that these are private roads to be fixed. It is something that we're looking at, and we are working out a fix. As you know, the finances, as we said before.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
Grace Kennedy is reporting increased revenues and pre-tax profit for the 9 months ended September based on unaudited results. The company achieved revenues of $126.39 billion, representing an increase of 7.3% over the corresponding period in 2023. A statement from the company said profitability also improved, with net profit attributable to stockholders was $6.62 billion, an increase of 11%. Based on the result, the company will be paying a dividend of 75 cents per stock unit. This is the 4th interim dividend payment for 2024 and brings the year-to-date total dividend payout to approximately 2.3 billion Jamaican dollars. Further afield, Volkswagen is recalling 114,000 cars because the driver's side airbags could explode. The recall includes certain 2006, 2007 Passat sedans, 2012 to 2014 Passat models, and 2017 Passat wagons. 2017 to 2019 Beetle and Beetle convertible models are also included in the recall. According to the Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the airbags pose a risk of exploding due to long-term exposure to humidity and high temperatures. Volkswagen dealership will replace the airbags for free. Affected owners will be notified by late December. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Carrie Simpson.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, IACHR, has expressed concerns over the situation of gender-based violence against women in Trinidad and Tobago and calls for the country to adopt urgent measures to prevent and eradicate it. The IACHR said this is particularly so in cases that are perpetrated in the family and intimate partner context. It said these measures should incorporate a gender and intersectional approach, ensure the effective protection of survivors, and promote the transformation of socio-cultural patterns that normalize gender-based violence against women. On the international scene, for the first time in U.S. history, a woman is set to be the White House Chief of Staff. President-elect Donald Trump says he's giving the job to his 2024 campaign manager, Susie Wiles. She's a seasoned Republican strategist and one of Trump's longest-serving advisors. He credits her with helping him win the recent election and says, as Chief of Staff, she'll make the country proud. A source says Wiles had conditions for accepting the second-highest job in the West Wing. She wants to control access to the president to prevent unofficial advisors from swaying him. And Royal Canadian Mounted Police say they are already on high alert for a potential wave of migrants following Donald Trump's election victory. President-elect Donald Trump's promise could result in an estimated 11 million undocumented migrants being rounded up south of the border. Quebec's RCMP have been preparing for months for a massive influx. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Hal Shane Burke.
Thank you, Hal Shane. We take another break. Sports is next.